Hey nerds and nerdettes, it's Rick here again, and I'm back with another review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a line that I have been looking forward to for a very long time, a line that I have been begging the DC Collectibles crew to do for a very, very long time. I'm talking 4 or 5 years I've been begging this company to do these figures. Not maybe necessarily of this property, but of the DC films in general. And do they live up to the hype? Did I build these up too much in my head? Let's take a look and find out. Okay, first of all, before we take a look at the figures, let's take a look at the packaging. You've got your standard DC Collectibles open and book style or window style box. DC Films, DC Collectibles down here on the bottom. Got number 1 and 2, obviously armored Batman and Superman respectively on their sides. In the backdrop of the pictures, you can see you got Batman over here, you got Superman back here, got pictures of the individual figures here on the left side with a nice little, you see the kind of raised plastic here for the Batman v Superman logo. You got pictures of the figures on the back. Let's see here. Sculpted by James Marsano. Let's take a look here. Whoops. Bumping lights and all kinds of crap over here. Yep, both of these sculpted by James Marsano, who is friends on my Facebook page. Hey, James. Okay, so that was a look at the packaging. But we're here for the figures. Okay, so let's cover articulation next on these guys. Going to be a little bit different for both. Got a ball-jointed head here on Batman. Now, because of the way that this guy is set up sculptural-wise and functionality, it's a little hindered. So you do have down motion like so. Not a lot of up motion, again, just due to the nature of the sculpt, but he can look left to side, so that's on a ball joint. I can't tell. Yes, there is, actually. Wow, I did not know that. There is a ball joint on the base of the neck as well, so you get extra down movement here. Cool. Good job, DC. You got ball jointed shoulders. You've got bicep swivels here. You got double elbows. There is a ball joint here in the wrist, so he does have a bunch of range of movement here in the wrist. This guy only has ab right here, so it is on a ball joint. Not much range of movement, again, due to the sculpt here. No hip articulation, or excuse me, waist articulation. There's ball jointed hips, but these are on barbells. So when they're loose like this, when they're down like this, they're pretty darn loose. I've seen some people complaining. Now this is like the Mafex and SH Figure Arts way of doing things. So I don't know if maybe these are people that have never had. Oh, I turned the lights on. Who have never had foreign figures before. But once you pop them up into place, you know, get them in the position that you want them in, pop them up into place, they don't move. So, and there's kind of a swivel here at the upper hip. So nothing down here, at least that I've been able to move. Double knees and then ball joint with swivel here, or ankle rocker here down at the ankles. So that's Batman. If I could get this guy to stay standing. Okay, and Superman here. Urgh. Unlike Mafex, they also have functional flight stands. This actually works here. Okay, so Superman here. He's got a ball-jointed head. Does he have... I cannot see. I'm not going to force it, but I don't think he has the same ball-jointed neck here as Batman does. You've got ball-jointed elbows with that butterfly, the pec extender here. You've got bicep swivel, double elbows, ball joint wrist, ball joint ab, ball joint waist. So there's the difference between he and Batman. You got the same kind of barbell style hips as well as an upper bicep or hip. Yeah, I don't know why they have that. There, you've got the joint cut here for the thigh, but it doesn't move. At least I'm not able to get it. You've got double knee, and then you've got, again, ball joint here on the ankle. So quite a bit of movement in Superman here. Now, sculpt-wise, I think these are wonderfully done. These might possibly be, of the versions that we have gotten here, I think these might possibly be the best film representation figures. You know, I saw one reviewer sit there and say, "Oh, Superman looks like John Travolta." You know, I've seen a lot of people say that about the Mattel versions, and yes, that might be the case. But not every single figure of Superman looks like John Travolta. Is it possible that maybe, just maybe, Henry Cavill looks like a young John Travolta? I don't know, but to me, this definitely looks like Henry Cavill. And I also saw another reviewer say that they didn't think that you could capture enough of the Affleck likeness in the Batman, and I don't understand that as well. You can definitely tell that's Affleck's chin and lips, and yeah, they did a wonderful job capturing this. Paint applications are excellent. I've seen also some complaints about a black wash on the symbol and the boots. It's really, really not as noticeable in person and when you have this guy in hand. So I don't know if people are just being nitpicky or what the deal is, but I've no complaints with the paint applications. They're wonderfully done, especially on the Batman here. I love the armored look. Nice kind of flex, almost silvery flex to the armor. Charcoal look otherwise. The gold is wonderful. Just wonderful paint applications all around. Like I said, sculpt-wise, fantastic. I love the details here on the Superman suit. If anything, if I would have some complaints, I would say that the torso here is a little bit jarring. I know that it was just for functionality purposes, or you know, just to get the ab joint working here or getting the crunch working, but it's very, I don't know, almost too narrow. I think they could have done a better job with that possibly. But otherwise, just all around fantastic sculpts on these figures. Paint applications on the faces could be a little bit better. I don't know what's going on with Superman's eyebrows there, but that might need fixed. Otherwise, just fantastic figures. Superman here has no features to the actual figure. Batman here has a little button. You push, the eyes light up for about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, and then turn off. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is, and you can also turn it off that way, but the only thing I don't like about this is that when the lights aren't lit up, they're not, you know, it doesn't really look like the suit. I like how Mezco was able to keep the eyes white, at least, or like that off-white bluish, even when the lights were off. I wish they would have done that, because they advertised that originally, the white eyes, and then they were supposed to light up. But I don't know what happened along the production line, but wish they could have done that a little bit better. All right, so accessories. Obviously, they come with bases here. That do include flight stands. Now, like I said, these work a lot better. The joints are a lot stiffer than the Mafex versions, so these hold very well, as you saw at the beginning of the review. Batman comes with... Gotta get this guy standing. Oh, you know what? One thing I didn't cover, too, is that there are wires in the cape. So, in the end of the cape, and I really like the use of the fabric that they had here on the Batman suit. Almost like a pleather. It works really well. But there are wires in the cape, so you can kind of get it in all kinds of dynamic poses and whatnot. Really like that. Okay, accessories. So Batman comes with his grenade launcher, which he does not hold very well, and to me, honestly, it looks like it might be on the small side a little bit. Lots of great details in it and everything. It's a great-looking gun, but they didn't really give him a trigger finger. This is the closest thing that we've got here, is the trigger for a trigger finger. But it doesn't really hold it very well. The finger doesn't go into the trigger very well, so you just kind of have to wing it like so. And if you bump it or just jar it even the wrong way, it kind of falls out. And like I said, it kind of looks like it might be on the small side a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. It's not a deal breaker for me. He also comes with extra sets of hands. So he comes with fists automatically. He comes with the trigger fingers for both sides. Again, fists, as well as open hands, like so. And Superman comes with extra sets of hands as well. He comes with the fists automatically, comes with open hands, as well as kind of relaxed hands, like so. He also comes with an alternate head with heat vision. Now, I like the way this is executed. Now, I've seen some reviewers, JC, put these in the incorrect way or say that they don't work. What you have to do is the bigger pegs down here. You just have to put them kind of into the eye socket and then get like a tiny pen or a tiny screwdriver or something and just kind of push them in, work them in like so. They will go in and they're nice and snug. I didn't have any issue whatsoever with them even coming near breaking. So I don't know what some of these other reviewers are talking about. Now, do they go a little crooked? Does it look like he's going a little cross-eyed? Yeah. They could have maybe used a little bit thicker material. But I appreciate the execution, and I like the sculpt on the face, the kind of the angry heat vision face, and I like the way it looks. Maybe you could have gone with the light up eyes as well, but I don't know how they would have done that and still had interchangeable heads. You know, you would have had to have gone with a built-in heat vision head, and I don't think anybody would have liked that. So I like the way they did this. I think it works. Looks good to me. All right, guys, so here's a look at them with some of the other DC Collectibles, the TV line. Batman's a little bit bigger here, but he is supposed to be, so he stands probably about, I'd say, a half-inch taller than Flash here. Maybe about the same with Deathstroke. Deathstroke's a little bit taller. Batman is going to be a little bit on the shorter side, as he was in the movie, but it's not going to be anything horribly noticeable, so he measures about the same height as Flash here. So, you know, you can keep them together. If you want to put Superman and Batman in your TV figures, you can do so. All right, gang, so comparison time. Here is the DC Collectibles Superman with the Mafex version. Some might argue that the likeness is a little bit better on the Mafex version. However, I think they're both wonderfully done. I don't know. I would say that maybe Mafex might look slightly more like Henry Cavill. The paint jobs might be a little bit, maybe it's just due to the eyebrows for me, but otherwise, one of my chief complaints about the Mafex figures were that they were a little on the scrawny side, and I like that the DC Collectibles version is big, buff, looks just like Henry Cavill's Superman, so maybe that might be, you know, just my personal opinion. The only thing that also I forgot to point out, I should say, is that, for some reason, the hair on this Superman is more like the 2013 Man of Steel version. It's less slicked. It's more of the curly hair that he had in Man of Steel. And that's not what his hair looked like in Batman v Superman, which is what this is supposed to be based off of. So, minor little complaint with that. I don't know what the deal is with that, if that was just sculptor choice or DC Collectibles choice, so you can kind of interchange them between, Man of Steel or Batman v Superman. I don't know what the deal is, but minor complaint with that, but otherwise, I don't know. Can I pick a favorite with these guys? No, they kind of match up equally for me. I love them both on their own merits. You know, there are things that I like about the Mafex version a lot more, you know, than the DC Collectibles version, and there's, features on the DC Collectibles version that I like more than Mafex. So these guys are about equal. All right, and here's comparison time on the 3 armored Batmans that have been released. I don't even count the Mattel, so yeah, it's not here. But now, this one is a little more difficult to try and pick which one is my favorite here. Because there's a lot of things that I like about each version. However, I will say that the cape on the Mafex version is crap compared to the other two. I would say that, you don't even get light up functions on the eyes, which the other two have. So I don't want to say that both the DC and the Mezco make it superfluous, but it is definitely, out of the 3, my least favorite. So let's eliminate that guy, but he's still a great figure. Don't get me wrong. We're not saying that. Still a great figure. It's way better than Mattel's offerings, but compared to these other two, little on the superfluous side. Now, let's compare these two. I love the Mezco version. I love the bulkiness of the figure. I love the light up eyes. I love the fact that you still have the bluish, whitish look to the eyes even when the light up feature is not turned on. I like the scaling of the gun. Obviously, it's bigger than the DC Collectibles version. But I like the paint job on the armor better of the DC Collectibles version. I like the cape better. I like the pleather version of the cape, and I like the wires in the cape that give it the posable feel. I like the articulation a little bit better. I like the more streamlined look of the armor. I like the bulky look, but I like the more streamlined version with the DC Collectibles version. I like the paint job. Like, did I say that already? I like the more metallic-y flex in the paint job. The likeness is going to be a little bit better on the Mezco version, but you still get an Affleck appearance in the DC Collectibles version. I don't know, you guys. This is very difficult to choose which of my two I prefer. Can I just give them a tie? Is that fair? I'm going to give them a tie. Just because I love them both. I might give the edge to the DC Collectibles version. The only thing is, like I said, the white of the eyes might be a little bit better. I like that. You don't have to have it lit up in order to give it this appearance. I like that a little bit more. I might actually just give a little tiny, like a light white paint coat to the eyes, just to, so I don't have to do that all the time with the lights on. So, all right. So that was a comparison of the armored Batmans. All right, gang, so what are my final thoughts on these figures? Are they worth it? Are they worth the higher price tag? Do they measure up to, say, Mafex or SH Figure Arts or even Hot Toys, Mezco? I would say that they do. Actually, like I said, the Armored Batman here, as much as I love the Mezco version, I honestly think might be the best version that we've gotten of this character to date. I love the way the cape is handled. Yeah, it rests a little funky here up top, but it's easy to overlook, especially once you have it in person. Too many people are just judging it based off of pictures that they see offline, and a lot of the issues are not as bad or noticeable, issues are not as noticeable once you have them in hand. The articulation does not look bad whatsoever in hand. The paint on the face does not, the Henry Cavill face does not look that bad. It's just the everything about this works, to be honest with you. And like I said, the sales, the future of the line really depend on the sale of these two figures. So if you want Wonder Woman, Jor-El, Zod, Feora, the Suicide Squad, all those people, you have to buy these up. And it really kind of baffles me that some people don't, they overlook these figures or say that they look bad or whatnot, when I honestly think they look better than the Mafexes, and they cost even slightly less. Some people are willing to fork over $60 for a Mafex, and here you have the chance to buy these guys for around the $40 range, and it's just not worth it to you. That I don't get it. I don't understand it. To me, these look the best out of all the figures that have been shown, especially among the foreign releases, Mafex, and especially Play Arts. But final. Do I think they're worth it? Final thoughts on that? Absolutely. I would highly recommend picking these guys up. I'm not just saying it because I want the future of the line to succeed. I really do think they're wonderful figures, and they do live up to the hype. Do I wish that maybe they were more in line with their TV figures around the $25 range? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to spend a little bit less? But for what these are, do I think they're worth the $40 price tag? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would highly recommend grabbing those. Especially if you want the line to continue. But, all right, guys, so that was a look at the DC Collectibles film series. These are the first two figures in the line. Again, you want more, buy these up so we can get more. Otherwise, as it stands, these are the only two figures to be released in this line. And to me, that is a crying shame. All right, you guys. That's a look at the film series. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I've got some more reviews coming up later this week. And if you like what you see here, as always, please subscribe. We'll talk to you guys later.